Hey, HCDA, and today we're playing some more Mindustry, and I want to go and attack the Naval Fortress, because that will unlock the 5th tier of the Retusa line naval units, and it's one of the few units that I'm still missing. I was actually able to unlock all the other ones, despite the massive amount of resources needed, but at this point we are starting to produce quite a bit of stuff, actually. So, yeah, just 2 more units to unlock, some buildings here and there, I believe. There's quite a few levels to go, but this one is actually part of the main quest. This time around, I'm actually selecting the correct schematic to launch with, so we should be seeing the tier 4 unit production from the get-go, at least as soon as I get the cryogen generation up and running. But we do also have the booster in here, so that should make an interesting launch for a new level, considering we actually do need to take out the enemy in this particular level. So, you know, having speedy construction of units might be quite crucial. Now, of course, this is a naval level, so there's plenty of water to go around. Not a lot of building area, actually, so that's a little bit worrisome. Which also makes me wonder if I should be producing naval units instead. Now, what I could do I actually have any of the tier 5 units unlocked? I do. So I could be building Omuras. Do I want to be building Omuras, though, is the real question. Okay, so I considered it for a moment, and I simply don't think I have enough time to build Omuras from the get-go in this particular level, because I am going to be attacked in 2 minutes. Now, of course, the initial waves might not be that strong, but this is a extreme level, I believe, in terms of the difficulty. So those waves are not going to be tier 1 units, or if they are, there are going to be a lot of them. So I think I need a couple of tier 4 units, most likely, for both for attacking and defending. These islands over here and over here make for a pretty decent choke point. So I actually think, and the game is kind of hinting at that as well, that I'm supposed to be building some defenses over here to kind of ward off the enemy. So I should be building some base production over here and then use these islands to defend myself. I might even want to double up kind of on the unit production, although that might be too much. Choices. Okay, first things first, I am going to start building some monos and polys, and I also replace the ground factory with a naval factory so we can get those SAEs going. It's really interesting to see how much faster this overdrive projector makes all of this production. As you can see, I just built this mono production, and of course normally it doesn't take that long to begin with, but I've been in this level for a playtime of about 18 seconds. I've built this air factory, and you can see the production is already kind of well underway. I do need a little bit of extra power poles over here to make sure my polys also start up. The interesting thing is the overdrive projector is actually boosting the power generation of my RTG generators as well. So that is not only really cool, it's also super efficient, because now these things are churning out 600 power each. Next up, landing pads for pretty much every resource in the game, along with some plastinium belts that, thanks to you, I now know can actually just go straight into my vaults, so that's a lot easier than what I was doing before. Now, the really annoying thing is that I'm actually already being attacked, even though the first wave is not supposed to be in 25 seconds. This is not even the first unit that attacked me. Now, of course, with my flying units that I'm already churning out, I can actually take these out pretty easily. Just, it's a little surprising that I'm already under attack. Anyway, that's nothing a little platform with some swarmers and lancers won't fix. And as you can see, my exponential reconstructor has already been waiting for a little while to start its production, and it's only not working because I don't have any cryo fluid. So let's get going with that. Alright, cryo fluid generation is online, so is my tier 4 unit, or at least the production of that. I am now also boosting another row of these RTG generators. I mean, they're just running on thorium at this point, and this overdrive projector is a building I'm starting to really enjoy. I wonder, I can probably do the same thing with things like this thermal power over here, so that could be a lot of fun. However, I definitely want to get some production going. I mean, this is a massive amount of production already, to be honest, but I want some local production as well to boost that even further. Okay, and then here is some graphite, lead, silicon, and copper production, and graphite actually, so that covers a lot of those basics. Somehow I don't actually have any thorium on this island. There is some thorium over here, but that's kind of like in the way of where all the enemy units are coming from. Same goes over here. So I guess I'm just going to have to do with the thorium that I am importing. I mean, I could do it differently, but this is actually a fair amount of thorium coming in, so I don't need to have my own thorium production. However, I still have a problem because apparently I can't actually put these tier 4 units on a conveyor. So the little trick I was trying for over here doesn't actually work. So what I need to do is I need to move this block forward and then have a conveyor in between the tier 3 and the tier 4, I think, and then it should work. Not gonna lie, that is a little inconvenient considering the amount of time it took me to get this thing going, and it might actually be out of range of my little booster as well now. But you know, we might as well build a second one, and if I'm not mistaken, that might also actually boost the towers that are in range. I just got the message that I lost the nuclear production complex, and I didn't even know it was under attack. It's really a matter of getting these messages all the time, but I would have really liked to know this one, because there was a massive amount of defense, so I'm actually really interested to know what was actually capable of taking it out. But yeah, I guess we'll have to do that one all over again. And there we go, we have the first one up and running. And with 2 of them ready and a lot of these meltdowns and specters in order to defend my base while I'm away, I think it's time to start pestering the enemy back. What I'm going to do first is send these units up to the base north, so I'm pretty much just going to clear out these smaller bases first. That should hopefully make sure that everything else is just a little bit less annoying. I really love how the landing pads work, by the way. As you can see, I'm sitting on a massive amount of resources considering my tiny little base over here. I have a very large surplus of power thanks to the overclocking of these RTG generators, which I am loving. These things are super efficient at this point. Of course, I realize you could probably overclock everything else as well, all the other power production facilities. But these the main problem I normally have with these is that they're too small and they take up a lot of space. But now, well, now they're pretty good. Something that's actually kind of entertaining is that I have so many tier 3 units in production because of the speed, and I don't have enough cryogen fluid in order to make this go any faster. I should probably have split this up. Now, honestly, because these are naval units, that's not that easy to do, but I could be churning out a small army of tier 3 units along with my tier 4 units with just the insane amount of production I have at the moment. And there we go. I love the range on these things. I'm just laying waste to their enemy base without any effort whatsoever. I do need to make sure I take out some of the more dangerous things like the ripples, but yeah, this is not going to pose much of a threat to my level 4 units. You need to keep an eye on their health. I mean, remember, these things do not heal themselves, unlike the Velas. So they do take damage, but they have plenty of HP to spare. And once I take down this core, everything else should stop firing at me. Is this the smart way to do this? Probably not, but I don't know, it works. Just bringing in my units to get repaired at the repair turret, and then I can go back out. I have 3 of them now, and with the 4th one in progress, and honestly, this is just smooth sailing, literally, from here. Not entirely sure why my units decided that they wanted to take the dangerous route towards the back base, but then again, I guess that means I'm just going to have to destroy the big one first. And you know, I decided why not reutilize my little mono facility over here, or poly facility I should say, and add in another tier 3 creator so I can make some tier 3 air units. Not entirely sure what I'm going to do with those, but you know, more units the better. Okay, 6 saves against a major base is not a problem for obvious reasons, even though I almost did lose one of them. As you can see, this one is at below half health, because, well, the ripples that were in the middle over here do quite a little bit of damage. Let's go back and repair and then take on the last mini base over there. I do have to say it's an extremely satisfying feeling to shoot at these enemy bases with these naval units. They're so powerful, they put fire everywhere. It really feels like you're laying waste to the enemy base, and well, that is another zone captured. Now the nice thing about this particular level is that it's a safe zone. This is never going to be attacked anymore, so I can actually replace some of the phase fabric production that I was exporting from a nuclear production complex that I somehow lost. So yeah, just to make sure that I have some of that incoming wherever I need it to. Okay, so that is another zone captured, and more importantly, that is another tier 5 unit unlocked. So we're getting very close to the end now. If you're still here, you are awesome, and I do hope to catch you in the next one, because I plan on capturing some of these other zones as well.